Okay, members and friends, so I'm home now. I went to the beach, well, one time for sure this afternoon. I tried to get there last night at 3 o'clock in the morning, but we know that story, right? So anyway, I'm not here to sell you any misinformation. The thing about this Fukushima stuff is there are people out there that are trying to capitalize off of the crises that is around this issue, and it creates conflict of interest based on competition, you know, not acknowledging what other people contribute into the mix or anything like that, right? There's, it's like the Soul Patrol is trying to, be in control, and that's fine to a degree, but not if they're going to be giving you misinformation and fear mongering so that you become hasty and jump in the car at 3 o'clock in the morning and go driving around in the fog just to go see if you can find some radiation that's 4 years old. Well, 3 years old. That's just an example. Is that to say that we're not being inundated with, massive amounts of radiation because of what's going on in Japan and what has happened? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I think there's misinformation out there for the sheer fact that when you're talking about there are no sand dollars, there are no crabs, there are no sea anomalies, those little poofy things, right? Or whatever. You have to remember, people, we've been in a heat wave on the West Coast for the last 3 to 4 weeks. It's pretty freaking hot. Not too much is growing right now. A lot of things have gone dormant. The only reason my neighbors' gardens are growing, because mine is, in my yard, it's survival of the fittest plant right now. Because I ain't got no time to be watering too many things around here. And it's funny because I inspired my neighbors to plant gardens because they see me out in the yard working hard. And they're out there watering their garden every day. And they've got big, beautiful, lush gardens where mine is just, again, survival of the fittest in terms of, the hardy plant that can go without very little water, right? So the thing about starfish and crabs and sand dollars is, they migrate. Crabs will migrate. Starfish will come together. And yes, it's been documented that there's been a die-off, right? Sand dollars will wash in on a shore. You'll go to the beach. You can run around the beach for 2 days, 4 weeks, or whatever it is. You won't see a single sand dollar. You wake up one morning and all of a sudden the beach is covered in sand dollars. It's almost like they wash in together and they wash out together. Because these things are crustaceans. They crawl along the bottom of the seafloor, right? And they stay together in groups. There were no starfish, but then it's the middle of freaking summer and everything's baking, and it has been baking. Is that to say we're not going to have starfish up at Crescent Beach come October, like in 2010? Because there was starfish in 2010. Because I know, excuse me, kids came home with some, and I dehydrated them. I still have them. There was none today. But there was other things there, right? I seen one of those sea anomaly things. But the thing about those things is they require a certain kind of living environment. They like to have big pools of water up along big rocks. They don't like shorelines. They like the side of a mountain that breaks off into I'll have to draw what they like. Okay, but just an actual shoreline with a bunch of rocks inside with a little teeny weeny pools, they don't grow in stuff like that. And especially when you've got people coming and going, like as in a public beach like Crescent Beach, kids are always tipping over rocks and stuff like that. So it was actually quite amazing to find the one that I did find. But outside of that, there was baby crabs, there was sand lice, sand fleas, or whatever you want to call it. There was seagulls, there were crows. I didn't get a close-up on the blue herrings, but further out, where, the low tide was, there was lots of the 12, 10, 15 blue herrings out there. We have a different type of seaweed. So, again, it's you're looking at geographics, maybe. You know, we had the grass. We had the type of seaweed that I remember having back in 2010. But again, you know, it's summertime, so the seaweed may flourish when it gets cold, because you have to remember, technically the ocean is a cold water body. Well, at least the Pacific is where we live. So when it warms up because of the summer, of course things aren't going to grow as fast any more than it's not growing in my own freaking yard. Okay? But when it cools down, well, that's when you might start to see things flourish. My biggest issue was the pollution I could smell. You know, I mean, obviously, politicians, people who make these decisions, they're not doing right by the environment by sending out raw sewage into the sounds. I know they send out raw sewage right from Victoria out, and it just washes back in, and you can smell it. And there is a big difference from when I was a kid to way the beaches are today. And for anyone to sit up there and say there isn't a difference, there is. I mean, they got to be having some serious mental health issues if they can't acknowledge that, you know, the human shit is polluting the beaches maybe more than Fukashima radiation is at this point in life. So anyway, I got some videos. You know, I take it a little further step than just a snapshot of a picture that, you know, pictures don't really say that much. You know, they have 1,000 words to them, but you know, when you can do a better job, and you don't need high-tech equipment. My camera is like 5 years old. If I take it to the pawn shop, they just give me $40 to pawn it off for the day or two or whatever, because they feel sorry for me. It's not because the camera is worth anything, right? Because it's old. It's out-of-date technology, but it works. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to upload what I found from the beach, and I'm going to do some follow-up videos because I brought some stuff home, and I'll lay it out on a, you know, up in the study club there, the ex-study club. I'll lay it out, and we'll talk about it. I'll try and determine what kind of seaweed it is, and, you know, because as far as I'm concerned, this stuff does affect my family, whether it's real or not, whether it's myth or fact, whether it's people fear-mongering and spreading out misinformation so that they can fundraise and make money for themselves so that they can go off and have a fucking holiday. Who knows, right? You know, do I feel that to some degree there is some truth that the west coast of Canada is being inundated with radiation poisoning? Yes, I do feel that. Do I feel that my children their health has been affected by this? Yes, I do. Do I think that, you know, as Canadians, you know, do we need to get a handle on this and, you know, start building in some more safety measures and some more monitoring centers and, you know, some more educational centers and, you know, start, you know, processing our human waste before we send it off to sea so it can float back to the shoreline? There's lots of things that we can be doing, right? So those are the things that I'm going to focus on. And let me remind the people that, yeah, maybe I haven't filled out the little piece of paper with the registers of companies at this point because I'm tired of doing all this freaking fucking paperwork, like, honest to God. You know, people will sit up there and make donations for somebody that they don't even know that can come with a few freaking pictures and convince you of doom and gloom, and you're more than willing to buy that and hook, line, and sinker. But I ain't seen nobody come forward to help me with this stuff. So until I'm ready to send it to the registers of companies, the information, whatever it is, new board directors, because we had an annual general meeting on December 31st of last year, and where I was supposed to have it, they were supposed to be open, and they weren't even there. We had to have our meeting in the fucking car. Like, seriously. Like, I don't know where people's priorities are at. Honest to God, I really don't. I really don't. I just know that I'm legit. So we're going to leave it on that note. Okay, members and friends. So we're going back to the beach. It's about 1:30. You're going on 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is before I got to the fog. Okay, members and friends, as you can see, it wasn't quite foggy yet until I kind of turned this bend. Driving down this road, you know, this is how you get out there, right? driving down the road like this, and then all of a sudden, boom! Couldn't see nothing. But I think the turnoff is after this little bridge. This in here, you couldn't see 5 feet. Okay, members and friends, so we made it out here. The tide is very, very, very far away. I don't know if too many people are thinking about Fukushima. Are you guys thinking about Fukushima radiation? No? Are you aware of it?
I think we don't want to be filmed.
Well, are you aware of it?
We don't want to be filmed.
You're not on the camera. The camera's facing that way, ma'am, and it is a public environment. And you can publicly videotape anything you want when you're in public. So, welcome to the real world. Speaking of that, are you aware of Fukushima radiation?
Yes.
Oh, are you concerned about it?
Yes.
Okay, well, one lady's concerned about it, so that's why I'm here. I'm on a bug hunt. Let's go see if we can find some crabs. Okay, so now that we left those crabs behind, here's myth number 1. Does that look like seaweed to you? That looks like seaweed to me, and it sure in the hell smells like it. I guess this is that lettuce, seaweed lettuce. You can see it right here. I have a jar. I'll come and get some of that near the end. Then we're gonna go all the way out there, members and friends, so hold on. Okay, members and friends, haven't even started yet, just moved a rock. And we've got a lot of these little guys. They all crawled underneath the rock to get out of the sun, so we're gonna just put the rock back. Looks like there's a clam shell here. I don't know. Well, it's just a shell. So, we'll take the shell home. Hold on. Okay, members and friends. Really, I gotta stop saying that. But as you can see, something is living under the sand because it's all over. So I would think it's clams or something like that. All right. Something's doing something. Okay, so you can see that little hermit crab crawling around. Oh, there's another little one. There it goes. There's a little one over here. We're going all the way out, people. Lots of grass. This is like a... Oh, there's a little worm. Andre, stop it. You can see that little... I don't know where it is. It's hard for me to see, people. It's my eyes. But there's all kinds of little bugs crawling around in here. Well, I wouldn't say there's tons of them, but there's a fair amount. So let's go further up. Okay, different type of seaweed. I'm gonna get a sample. Okay, look at this thing here, members and friends. Hold on, I'm trying to hold the camera. Where did it go?
There.
I have to use the spoon there. Do you see it? It stopped moving. But it's moving. It's something alive. Where's the spoon? There it is. Do you see it? Some kind of life.
There, Nana.
Yeah, what is it?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, members and friends, I don't know what this is. Some kind of jelly thing. I don't know if that's alive. Well, it seems to be attached to something here. It's kind of in the ground. It has roots. There's several of these around. I don't know if that's a jellyfish or a plant. I am seeing little things swimming around in here. There are those little hermit crabs. No bullfish. I see little hermit crabs crawling around. So hold on. Okay, members and friends. So we're a little further out in the beach here. We got some of that white one. Andre, don't fall in the water. We got a little bit of green. We got some little fish swimming around in there. We got little hermit crabs. That's what we got. No baby crabs, but they like to hide under rocks anyway. Okay, hold on. We got various types of seaweed. So I'll pick up some of that so we can do a little comparison at home. Okay, hold on. Okay, members and friends. What I'm smelling is pollution. unfortunately, British Columbia sends out raw sewage. They don't have a sewage treatment plant. I don't know about Vancouver, but I know in Victoria, it just goes out raw. And from when I was young to compared to what it's like today, you could definitely smell the difference. So what I'm smelling right now, sure, I'm smelling the ocean, but I'm also smelling pollution. There is a little crab. I just seen him scurry off. Most of these are hermit crabs. Obviously, they're trying to get out of the sun, right? So they migrate to each other, okay? And these things, you know, I don't know. Little crabs will migrate as a, you know, conglomerate group, right? Here's a different kind of seaweed. This one right here. I'm picking up different types of seaweed here, members and friends. I'm gonna bring them home. So, so far no starfish, but definitely these guys are congregating. And I did see one little hermit crab take off, so we're just gonna put this back. Well, not a hermit crab, but like a baby crab, right? So we'll close that. This seaweed I want here. You know, we have a fair amount of this green, I guess that lettuce leaf that Dana dude was talking about. So I would think that's what that is. So we're gonna throw that in the bag. Here's some more, right? Oh, this is a fair amount. I have a garden, so maybe I'll just throw it in the garden. We'll see. And then we've got my little grandson making some friends over there. We got a dead crab, which happens. This is nothing new. So we'll take that home with us and clean the shell, and my little grandson can make something with that. Yeah, I'll be there in a second. Hold on. And then if you see, you can see these guys, they're migrating, and they're all underneath the rock here, so I'm just going to move the rock this way. Oh, we'll go like that. I think people have already been out here moving rocks and stuff, so this is a different kind of seaweed. It's growing right on the rock, so I'm going to take that just for science. Okay, let's see what else we can find, members and friends. I'm just moving some rocks around right now. You know, when I came out here in October, it was colder, so maybe starfish like it when they're cold. Maybe they don't like it when it's boiling freaking hot, right? Maybe they're deeper out in the sea, you know? Just hold on here. I can't move this thing with one hand. Anyway, we can see more of this seaweed, right? Good for the garden. So we'll scoop that up for the garden. That's nice and bright. Okay, let's see what else I can find. I'll be back. Hold on. Okay, so I think what needs to happen here is, you know, people need to educate their kids about killing off the wildlife, because got a bunch of little hoodlum kids over there trying to kill off these little baby crabs. Seriously. So I'm screaming at them, don't be killing off the baby crabs. Now I just seen like 3 of them scurry off in here, so they're out here, right? But you know, it's just, you can see, there he goes. They're hiding under the rocks, people. See, they're hiding. They don't want to be killed. They just want to live, right? You know, they're just like anything else out here. They just want to live. They're just waiting for the, see, there he is. There he is, right there. There he is. See, you don't want to kill him.
I found some little babies though.
Yeah.
I have found all these crabs, but they're already dead.
Well, those ones are dead. That's okay. That happens when they wash up in the shore.
I think they're dead.
Right? But you don't want to kill them.
Are they dead?
Those ones are, yeah. Those ones you can have, because you can dry them out in the sun.
I found them, so I get them.
Okay. Those ones are already dead. So you take them and you put them under the sun, and they'll dry. Here's another one. And they'll dry. And then you take a little bit of glue. You take a little bit of glue. Let's see what you got in there. You take a little bit of glue, and you paint after it's dry. But if they're live, you leave them alone, because they're struggling to survive. Yeah. Anyway, so members and friends, hold on a minute. Okay, members and friends, I can't really see here, but we have a flock of seagulls just flew in. Right, there's several of them around. Where are they? There's another one. Right, whoops. There's a crow. A couple seagulls over there. It's really hard for me to see, members and friends. There are, when you move these rocks over here. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'll come get you. I'm just gonna move this rock here, and you're gonna see. A baby crab just taking off. I did see, ooh, do you see that, people? Look at that. There we go. There we go. That's an amazing find. Huh? We're gonna cover him back up. Isn't that just a wonderful thing? Right? That's that anomaly they're talking about. You touch them and they... So we're gonna cover him back up. These guys, oh, this is all teeming with life. Let's see if I can come in a little closer. See, that's the thing with this other person. They're not really giving us... They're giving us pictures, but, you know. So we got one, oh, it opened back up, members and friends. Let me just see here if I can... I wish my eyes were better. So this is it right here. I'll try and zoom in a little closer so you can see it. There it is. Do you see it, members and friends? I'm going to touch it. You're not going to like that. Close up. See? Kind of sticky. You say, oh, I like what your finger tastes like. Anyway, we're going to cover that little baby back up, right? Just let him live his life. So lots of little crabs. Oh, skewering away. Another one. He's feisty little guys. There's those mussels. You have to remember, these rocks in here, people, the kids are moving them around all the time. Right? And it just may not be star season. Starfish season. Right? Because this is a pretty active beach here. So, people are always moving things around. Lots of little crabs running around. No starfish. But again, these things like what do you call those things? Sand dollars? Sand dollars only roll up on certain beaches at certain times of the year. So, that information could be a little deceiving. Sometimes these things, they migrate towards each other, right? And, because I remember one time you woke up in the morning and the beach was just covered with sand dollars. So they kind of swam together. So, anyway, you can see what I'm doing here. Just kind of moving some rocks. See, there's another one. This is teeming with life, all kinds of little bugs crawling around. Here's another one. Even though maybe the beach is polluted, right? This is well stuck on. These are alive. So we'll just roll them back over. They don't like to sit in the sun, right? And my feet are thoroughly wet. Hold on. Let's see what we've got underneath this one. These are all alive. Alright. Waking them up. All kinds of little bugs crawling around on here. See more baby crabs. Alright, this one's dead. So we'll take this one. Nana's over here. Hold on. Let's go to a different rock. Okay, if you see all kinds of things crawling around. Flea flies. Sand fleas. I've seen them jumping. That's what those are. They're jumping. Those are sand fleas. So, those are alive. We'll just cover them back up. Again, people moving this stuff around all the time. So this stuff here is hard for it to survive, right? Sometimes, because every day somebody's coming and looking under a rock. So lots of little crabs everywhere. No starfish though. Right. But there's another one of those. And there's some more. You can see them. They're attached to the rock. Doing okay. Here's a mussel. It's attached. So it's okay. Andre! Come on over here! Come with Nana! Come on! No, we're going too soon. We're going too soon. See, you can smell the pollution, people. I'm smelling it, you can see it. If you look at the rock, hold on. I think that's what we need to be addressing here a little bit, is the pollution. You know, it's not just Fukushima radiation. Yeah?
Yeah.
Hold on, Nana just moving some rocks around. And again, these rocks have been moved every day by somebody. Kids are always looking for something out there. Right, that's what kids do. So, that's not to say that, you know, the ocean isn't in peril. But, move now, let's go move this rock. Move, I don't want it to fall on your foot. Hold on a minute. Okay, so what's happening is, as the water goes out, these little guys are all just coming together and hiding out, right? That's the rock I just moved. So, we're just gonna put it back.
Now I moved them.
No, they're just little shells, little snails of some kind. So, just put that back. So, that's pretty much it, members and friends. This is beach number 1, Crescent Beach. Surrey, BC, Canada. Across the water is the United States of America. So we got a little friendly seagull over here. Where'd you going? Where'd you going? But you got yourself some food, huh? Where'd you go?
Look at that.
There's another one. So anyway, we got a lot of this stuff here. This one going purple. Purple seems to be the color. I'm gonna take some of this stuff home. I'm gonna dry it out and I'm gonna use it for my garden. Yeah, why not? Right? There's different kind of seaweed. Obviously when it dries in the sun, it likes to go purple. So, and then when you come up into here, you have some grass. Some good old seagrass. So, I'll grab a bunch of this too. Dry some of this. Put it in my yard. It smells like seaweed to me, people. I'm doing a video. Hold on a minute. Friends, I'm being told that we got some blue herons. There's about 12 or 10 of them out there flying around. I can't know if I can pick them up on my camera. But we got plenty of birds out here. There's one flying. There he is. That's a blue heron? And that's like a pink pelican or something. Like they're big birds, right? Yeah. So we got the big birds flying around. You can see it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There he is. I'll see how far I can. I'm going to get myself a real fancy dancy camera here. That's a blue heron. That's a big bird.
They're actually all standing right at the shoreline.
And they're all standing up by the shoreline?
That's how they eat. They just back into the shallow water.
Yes, and there's lots of things down there that are like clams. That must be clams because there's lots of, you know, sand that's been being spit up, right? So,
That one. On that bird.
I think the issue here is just, you know, human pollution. And yes, there is radiation somewhere in the environment, but that's going to take a little more technology to detect that. So, we'll be back. Okay, members and friends, now we're in the car. And this is the road I would have traveled last night on. My car needs a tune-up, so it's a little shaky right now. You gotta remember, this thing is like almost 34 years old, right? I've had it for 24, so that's a long time to own one car. People say, are you still driving that car? And I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so we're leaving the beach now, and this is all just fancy dancy neighborhood. People living with nice property and, you know, got lots of money and manicured grass. Yeah, so I just kind of want to take you down the road I would have been traveling last night in the fog. This is why I kind of pulled back. because I remember coming down this road and it was quite windy. And, you know, it was pretty foggy last night. So, what did we see? We've seen all kinds of things there. Now, I want to bring to the attention here that, you know, we've had a heat wave for the last 3 weeks or so. We just got some rain the other night. And so things have been pretty parched. And thing about starfish and crabs and sand dollars and things like that, you know, they're migratory animals. Well, sea crustaceans, right? And in other words, you know, you can be on a beach one day and not see a single sand dollar. You can get up the next morning and the beach can be covered in sand dollars because they kind of come in all at one time. Because I remember seeing that when I was a kid, right? And starfish, well, do they really want to be hiding underneath a rock, baking under the sun in the middle of frickin' summer at the hottest time of year? No, I don't think so. I think when I was out in, you know, the beach last time with the kids in October of 2010, before the Fukashima, you know, disaster, right? That was in October and the weather was cold. So we need to come back in October because I didn't see not one starfish where, you know, before there used to be. But there was crabs and, you know, sand fleas and one anomaly. Now that anomaly or whatever you want to call that thing, I don't know what that little, you know, fuzzy thing or whatever that was. Those things require a different kind of environment in order to coexist. They don't necessarily like to live where a bunch of rocks are. They like pools of water in between big mountainous rocks. I don't know how to explain that, but anyway, as you can see, this would have been a real trek trying to drive last night on this road, right? You know, it's only be able to see 5 feet in front of you, 10 feet if you're lucky, right? So anyway, I just kind of wanted to bring you down the road just to kind of show you how you had to get to the beach last night, right? 3 o'clock in the morning. So we'll be back. Hold on.